All right, hello, Mackenzie. So we're going to start in just about 5 minutes. So thanks for joining us. And there's a chat feature as well that I want to try out. One moment. All right, I am going to go ahead and get started. So I want to take just a couple minutes to talk about the unique format of our course. This is a platform that Rose State College is using that is going to be more common in the coming semesters. I'm the first English professor to use this, and I think some others will be as well. But before I do that, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Dr. Caliendo, and I am an English professor here at Rose State College. I teach courses in British literature, particularly early British, medieval Renaissance, and I also teach composition and a number of other literature courses. And I've been doing this for quite some time, and I think in my eighth year here at Rose State, and I'm definitely excited for this new course format because I think it's going to give us a lot of flexibility. So what this is it's a course that is not quite an online course, not quite an on-campus course. It's something in between. Um, yes, Dakota. Okay, if you have a question, there is a chat window that you can you can use for that. Oh, okay. Hello? Hi. um, you can't hear me? Ah, okay. Hang on one second. Let me check my audio here. All right. Is the class able to hear me? Just want to make sure. I need to get this where I can hear you. Okay, great. Excellent. All right. So we will. Now, in this format, anyone can talk. Now, sometimes I will kind of mute the class just so we can focus on something. Also, there's that raise your hand feature that you were using as well. That lets me know that you want to talk, or you can type in a question in the chat at any time. Okay, so one of the things about this platform is it's going to allow us to meet for class, but for me also to record the sessions. And after every class, I post this recording to a YouTube channel and put it in the Canvas course so that you can watch it at any time. Now, so if you think about how an English composition class might work on campus, the first part of the course, I get us started. I talk about what we're working on. I introduce any new assignments. I introduce activities that we'll work on, and then most sessions are going to have time within the class where there's writing and group work and things like that. And I don't record the class activity part as much as I do just the instruction. So I have a question here about audio. Let me fix that real quick. Okay. So it seems like some people in the class can hear me and some cannot. If you are able to hear me, could you just type a quick message in the group chat? Okay, very good. All right. So yeah, the audio should be working. So you might have to check your device. 1 second here. Okay, so I'm trying to get Dakota up and running, but while I do, I just want to talk for a minute about a little bit more about the platform, and then I'll get into some of the course information. So so this particular class is going to meet on Mondays and Wednesdays at 9:30 to 10:45. Some students have class during that time. Some can't meet during that time, and that's fine. These Zoom sessions, while I do keep track of who's here, are not required. They're not required because I record them, I post them to YouTube, and that's where you get some of the direct instruction. Now, looks like we got the audio thing fixed. Okay, so so that's what we'll do. We'll meet during this time. I'll offer instruction about what we're working on. I'll have some time in class where you'll do some writing, And we're going to use this Canvas website for the majority of our coursework. So this is where you're going to submit assignments. It's where I have all of the readings posted. And so now I just want to talk about the structure of the course itself. So on our Canvas page, I have the syllabus tab here, and this will give you all of my contact information, all of the information about the course as well. So my office is located in Humanities 114. I am currently broadcasting from there. And I will, however, be looking for an empty classroom here on campus during this time, just to try to find the best spot. So if you want to, you can attend class in person as well. So I'll still be on Zoom, but you essentially, hello, you will be attending class in person on Zoom, or you can watch the recording later. So the course format gives you that kind of maximum flexibility. And I'll update you on room locations. There are just a few times in the semester I think it would be better to have a classroom. So I'll keep you updated on that. But my office hours are listed here. Monday, Wednesday, 9 to 9:30, 1:45 to 5, and then Tuesday, Thursday, 11 to 12:15, and 2:50 to 4. This course textbook is already loaded into your course. You can buy a copy at the bookstore if you want a paper copy. You are not required to do so. And any other assigned readings are built into the course as well. So this course has a textbook cost of $0, and we designed it that way. I wrote this book a few years ago, and it's structured basically to align exactly with the way that we teach composition here. Now on the syllabus, I have these course objectives and expected outcomes. I'm not going to read the entire thing to you, but a few of the goals for the course are to develop skills in the conventions of academic and formal communication, emphasis on composing 3 to 5 page essays. So the essays themselves, they're on very focused topics and very focused styles of argumentation, and they're not especially long, but we go through a process of drafting and revising, and you're going to get feedback along the way for each of those. We're going to be talking about communication and writing within work environments. So that type of professional writing is something that we emphasize. And we will also work on reflective skills and interpretation of text. So we have an essay on rhetorical analysis. I'll be covering that in detail later, but essentially you look at something like an advertisement, and you demonstrate an ability to analyze that message, to think about who is that advertisement targeting, what strategies are they using to reach people. And that kind of skill, I think, can definitely help you as a thinker, as a critical thinker, but also just as a consumer to make informed decisions, and not necessarily just fall for the types of propaganda that are out there in advertising. Okay, so the grading scale is divided into the essay assignments, and then some smaller assignments, and then we do have a final exam. So 700 points, the first 2 items listed there, comprise the essays in the course. So there are 2 documented essays and a multimedia essay, and then we also have a short memo that we'll write. And the remaining credit is divided over the discussion boards and quizzes that we have within the course. I'll talk more about those. And then we have 100 points for a final exam. And let me see here. And then I have some other policies here. A couple things about.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, no problem.
I raised my hand. I'm sorry. Will you be, before we take the final exam, the 100-point final exam, will there be like a practice exam?
Yes. So the last few weeks of the course are about preparation for that final. I pass out a sample which shows you essentially what the final looks like, and the format. The only difference is it will be on a slightly different topic. So the final exam is an in-class essay. You're given a prompt. Essentially, it's a pro-con argument. So you hear about like the pros and cons of like raising the minimum wage, for example, and you choose a position and support your argument with information from the pro side or the con side, and then you argue against the other side. So you write a short essay of around 2 pages within that 2 hours.
So that would be what, maybe 5 paragraphs, right? 5 paragraphs?
Yeah, the number of paragraphs varies, but for that particular assignment, yes, you could write a 5-paragraph essay and meet the requirements just fine. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. So some of the policies here, I don't necessarily take formal attendance. Our course format isn't really built for that. I think attending the Zoom sessions when you can is a good idea, but watching the videos is perfectly fine as well. So attendance is not part of your grade, but what I am looking for is engagement. So you need to be logging into Canvas every week, completing those weekly assignments. Make every effort you can to turn your essays in on time. There's a late penalty of 10% per day. I do make exceptions to that for serious issues that come up. You just have to communicate that to me, and I've always been very flexible. I think that deadlines certainly are important, but no one in this class just has this class. You have a lot of other things going on in your lives. So my goal is to keep you on track, keep you meeting those outcomes, getting the coursework turned in. And the deadlines are structured to give us kind of a balanced workload throughout the semester. So meeting those deadlines is going to really help you to excel in the course. So my responsibilities, I'll always be here on time for our 9:30 sessions. I'm available outside of course. I'll answer emails within 24 hours. Make every effort to treat students with courtesy and fairness. The assignments that you're given will be graded and returned to you within 1 week. And I'll also work with you individually beyond class time as needed. The rest of the syllabus has some important policies and links. You want to make sure that in this class and all of your classes that you're participating within this first week. The campus has a policy to withdraw students who don't participate in class when it begins. So make sure of that. I do have a discussion board activity that's just an introduction that you can post, and that will cover you there. Just make sure to do that this week. And as far as accommodation goes, Rose State College complies with that, and you can contact Student Access Services if you need any kind of accommodation for additional time, or they make that determination. So work with their office, and then they they communicate that with me. And then I have the academic integrity policy. One really useful component of the syllabus I want to mention is this course summary at the bottom. This has links to all of our assignments, and so you can access those there. And the course also on the home menu is structured with a week by week breakdown as well. So so this has due dates for all of the upcoming assignments. And I just recognized an error here. One moment. This one will be due next week. Okay. So there's that. All right. So the easiest way to navigate the course again is on this home menu. This is also where you can find my announcements, my most recent announcements. You can click on the announcement tab to get to some older ones. But on this page at the top, I have a full copy of the textbook. This is our textbook here, the Practice Writer. Underneath that, this is a book on grammar and mechanics. It's not required, but I included it essentially as a reference for you if you need a refresher on comma use or a parallel structure or complete sentences or anything like that. That book is there just for your reference. It's not required. I don't assign anything out of it. And then I assign a number of articles each week. Our discussion boards will often be about those. And let me go ahead and add this discussion here. So each week you will notice that there are quizzes and discussion boards. The discussion boards themselves, they open at the start of the week. So at midnight on Monday, so 12 a.m. Monday, they open, and then they're open the entire week. It's the one assignment I do not accept late, because when we finish a discussion board, we're really just moving right along to the next one. And okay, so then I have those organized each week. And then we have essay submissions. So you're going to use these folders to submit your essays. And let me go into a student view here. Okay, so this will be the class basically as you see it. All right, so I'm in week 3. I've written the draft of my memo, and I'm ready to turn that in. So I would click on that, and you can see the assignment sheet here. It gives you all the information that should be included in this project. I'll have a separate announcement about this as well. And so I've written my draft. I'm ready to turn it in. I would just click Submit Assignment, and at that point you can attach your essay. So that, and then you submit it. So it's like attaching a file to an email or something like that. And we're going to be going over starting next class all the details of this memo. You'll notice things like it is an APA format, but I want you to keep in mind that I don't expect that you know how to write something in APA format. I'm going to teach that to you. So we work through this as a process, and especially the importance of rough drafts is that I get to see your work, comment on it. If there are issues with APA or with anything else, I have that opportunity to comment on that and give you feedback. So that is the basic structure of the course, you'll be able to track your grades on this grade tab. And it gives you a breakdown of all the assignments. And like I said, I post your grades within a week, so you'll be able to track your progress as you go. The course is on a 1,000-point scale, which means that to receive an A, you need to get 900 points. A B is 800 points, and so on. I have a discussion tab as well. And then if you use Google Drive, that can integrate with the course. And I have a link to a separate tutoring service, tutor.com. You have a number of free hours per week on that to use for any of your courses, and they do provide some writing instruction. So that's a rundown of the course. Our introductory assignments do include this discussion board, so discussion board 1. And the discussion board, by the way, also has a questions forum. If you just have a question for the whole class or for me, you can use that. You can also email me, get to using your Canvas messaging feature. That's really, really helpful. You can contact me through that. I also have my email address on the syllabus here. And that's pretty much, that's it for, I guess, the course structure. By next time, you should have read this article here, Poison People. We're going to talk about that a little bit in class. And we're also going to work through some elements of chapter 1. I want you to notice that the graded assignments are due on Sunday. So graded work is always due on Sunday. So we don't have deadlines during the class sessions. Essentially, we use our class time to work through and prepare for the written assignments and also these activities. And then you can complete them whenever you want. If you want to get them done early in the week and sort of free up your weekend, that's fine. If weekends are your days off and that's when you want to do your coursework, you can do that. You can do that as well. So one more thing about Zoom. This session was recorded. I'm going to be posting this to my YouTube channel, and you don't have to follow that because I also am going to then take that YouTube video and post it here within the course. So I'll have an announcement that will let you know where you can find those recordings. Okay, so that is all I have for our course introduction, but I am available to answer any questions that you might have individually, and then we can wrap things up after that. If there are no questions, that will be it. Next time in class, we're going to be discussing chapter 1 of the Practice Writer. So you can follow that link within week 1 to just that particular chapter, or you can locate it within the entire ebook. And we're also going to be talking about the article Poison People, and we're going to be introducing this documented memo assignment. So we'll have a pretty full day next time. All right, so thank you for your attendance in this first Zoom session. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Those of you watching the recording, welcome as well. I'll be in touch on the first discussion board, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Thank you.